On today's episode of the Untitled Movie Podcast, we celebrate our 1-year anniversary and we talk about The Rock. We decide what kind of action star Nicolas Cage should be, whether Francis X. Hummel is the greatest villain of all time, and talk about the Candyman's music tastes. So stay tuned. Untitled Movie Podcast. Untitled Movie Podcast. Untitled Movie Podcast. Untitled Movie Podcast.
Welcome to The Rock.
And welcome to the show.
And The
Big
Rock.
show. And The Rock. That was a bad one. Sorry.
But of course you are.
It's goulash. You know that, right?
Goulash.
Goulash. That's how you do it. I read that's how you do a Sean Connery impression. You say goulash, and that teaches you all the secrets to the words.
The penis
That's how you do
mightier.
That was terrible. Hey, The Rock. Untitled movie show.
Indeed.
Hey, folks.
It's us.
It's us. We're back.
Yep.
At least for a couple weeks until I also have a kid. We're back.
Yeah. It's been a crazy few weeks for me. Crazy few weeks for you.
Yeah. We had a lot. Yeah. We have families, and tell them, Big Ron. Tell them what's going on.
My wife almost died giving birth.
That is accurate and something I shouldn't laugh at, but I'm laughing at how you kind of threw that in at me and didn't know we were going to talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Almost
Ron
died. I almost watched my wife go into the light.
Yeah. She did not, because she's Jewish and they don't believe in the afterlife, so she denied it.
Yep. And head of a brand new healthy baby girl.
Exactly. And his wife is alive. Just one more time so you know.
Yes.
And he didn't, and it wasn't because he tried to murder her. It was because she was giving birth. So yeah. And my son had surgery and my wife's super pregnant. So everybody's healthy, everybody's safe right now. We're good. We're just a little behind on our episodes, so we apologize. All 25 of you that listen to us loyally. And yeah.
Welcome.
So welcome to the Untitled Movie Podcast with Ronald
And this guy.
and me, Craig. Hello. I'm having some issues because I wrote notes down and I'm in a semi-dark room and I'm trying to read them before we start
So
speaking.
you
It's not
actually wrote
working.
notes, and I have no notes on this movie.
I have notes on my pad. I have notes on my computer. I have notes for days. I've got all sorts of notes.
You have nose for days?
I do have notes.
Notes.
I mean,
notes. You have notes.
I also
for days.
have nose for days. Nose for Dayshoe. That's a some
Bet
sort
you
of
his
vampire.
appetite's as big as his nose.
Man, that is not a thing we're going to talk about because that is a line we shouldn't repeat. Great movie though. Anyhow, yeah, man, it's our, as Ron told me right before we went on the air. It's our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah. Yep.
And
We've been
on
doing
the
this
air.
a whole year.
We've been on the air, the tubes, the interwebs for a whole year. Coming in your ear holes. That sounded gross. Playing in your ear butts. That for a whole year. And we decided to celebrate that year by doing a movie that we've been waiting a whole year to do.
Yeah. It's one of the ones we wanted to do originally when we started this little experiment.
Yeah. I've got a poster of it in my living room. We're here today to talk about The Rock.
Not the actor or wrestler. The movie
No.
from 1996.
The Rock. Welcome to The Rock.
That was pretty good. With
Thank you.
Nick Cage, Sean Connery, Ed Harris,
Ed motherfucking
David
Harris.
Morse, John Spencer, Vanessa Marcel, directed by Michael Bay.
You left
had
out
Tony
Tony
Todd, had
Gregory
Jim
Spor-
Caviezel,
Gregory Sporland.
Spindle-
Yeah. Did you say Spindler? Sporlander.
Yeah.
Old Greggy Spores.
William Forsythe, Michael Bean, John C. McGinley,
Yeah. Did you say the guy that was on West Wing already?
John Spencer. Yeah.
Did the Raymond Cruz is in this?
Yep.
Michael Bean.
The
We say that already?
president from Armageddon plays
Yep,
the president in this movie.
Danny Nucci going, let go of me. Let go of me. He's in there. It's fucking
It's
it's
a
crazy.
plethora of amazing actors.
Every single actor who plays a military person in any movie is in this.
Yep.
It is a fucking
Melvin.
Melvin. Yeah, man. Oh, Greggy Sporlander is the fucking bad guy in this movie.
Michael Biehn, of course, is a Navy SEAL.
He only is allowed to play Navy SEALs.
Yes.
It's in his contract. If he ain't a SEAL, he ain't showing up.
Yep. Jim Caviezel is uncredited because he's Jesus. He don't need it.
He is the Yeezus. He's the Yeezus. And actually, it's funny. A little behind the music here. We were between this and The Abyss, and apparently The Abyss doesn't fucking exist anywhere other than on the DVD I own right now.
I could not find it anywhere.
So,
And I didn't feel like driving to the next town over to get it from Target.
Yeah, so we'll do that eventually. We decided to go bean for bean.
Bean Harris. Ed Harris also.
Bean Harris. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Bean Harris. You're right. Yeah, Bean Harris. I thought that was like someone's kid. It's like they're naming kids Bean now.
Or Michael Ed.
Michael, I like Bean Harris better. Bean Harris sounds like someone I know. So yeah, we decided to do The Rock, and we're here for our anniversary, and we're just excited to talk to you guys again. I still can't read my notes that well because it's kind of dark in here. Whatever.
I just don't know why Craig doesn't turn on a light.
Because it's far away and I'm seated, and I have a neck pillow on. I tore my calf today, folks. That's the thing that happened. We're having a big day.
Big day.
Yeah, let's get right into it. I'm legitimately hyped to talk to y'all.
Sweet.
But I'm going to start with some bad news.
Okay.
I don't think I like the first half of this movie that much anymore.
I don't think I like you that much anymore.
Correction. I don't think I like the first half of this movie once Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery meet as much as I used to.
Well,
I don't like the part I've decided. Basically, I don't like that chase scene that much.
okay. But it's a Michael Bay production, so you have to
Yeah.
have a chase scene.
Yeah. And it sours my taste for the beginning of this movie, I've decided.
Why? Why do you not like this chase scene? Is it not needed? Is it just too much?
It's too much.
Is it just too much to the guy? Save yourselves!
Yeah. Okay. That's like the most classic, like Michael Bay is accidentally racist and never been an actual black person shit in history. B, it seems like too much. C,
You stole my Humvee.
He himself called it a clusterfuck.
Well, it was, yeah.
D, what's up with that stunt person dressed like an old lady? Clearly, that's not a real old lady. And it's just and E through F is just fucking. I just don't love it. I don't like that scene for some reason. It's a lot of weird cutback shots of them saying these things. You're going down, saying weird shit to each other. It's out of character. Don't like it.
You just fucked up your Ferrari.
Wasn't mine. This movie's solid. This is a fucking damn good movie.
Jade Angelou.
I think I'm warning you now, folks. Most of this podcast is just me, Ron and I saying lines back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
Because it's that kind of movie.
But
yeah, this fucking
in all honesty, that's kind of our friendship for the past 20-something years.
What? Just saying stuff back and forth to each other?
Yeah.
I can't really, I can't really argue with that. So let's just get into the nitty-gritty of this. Do you want me to go complaints, happy things? What do you want? I got lots. I love this movie. I got a lot to say about it. It's like a relative, I see its flaws, but I love it no matter what. So,
Well, shoot from the hip, whatever you feel.
Shoot from the hip.
Yep.
Is Francis X. Hummel the best villain ever? I'll ask you that right now.
I don't think so because he's not truly a villain.
I'm gonna say, greatest villain in any film ever is Hans Gruber. I'll say that right now.
Yes.
We all know that. That's the truth because all movies are Die Hard, and Die Hard is all movies.
There's only before Die Hard and after Die Hard?
Yes, like the birth of Christ.
Like Jim Caviezel?
Who's Yeah. I already dropped them. He drops an N-bomb in a movie, and then he's man's had a weird career. Anyway. So
Continue. Go on.
Yes. So I think that Franz Hummel, outside of Hans Gruber, is the best, at least action movie villain I can think of. I can't think of.
I would say he's the most noble villain.
But I think that's what makes him a great villain. They say the greatest villains always, they're kind of right. They have a shred of truth in them,
Yeah.
And I think he portrays that perfectly. Right down to the end, he's not gonna actually kill anybody. It's not his intention to kill these people.
No, even in the beginning, they didn't kill anybody stealing the gas. They just used the darts.
Yeah, brutal but non-lethal force, which I'm not sure is an actual way to report something, but it got the point across. And I'll tell you, that first guy who dies, first guy, last guy, most gross parts of this movie. But yeah, I just think the way I think Ed Harris plays him beautifully. I think he's just such a nuanced villain. Because if you take his opening scene, right, the opening credits from when he's talking to the tombstone to Barb, that could also be the beginning of a movie in which he's the hero.
Okay.
Very easily that could be the beginning of a movie where he goes down to Panama to take out a bunch of drug dealers to steal money for some families,
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a bad. He's only a bad guy in action and accidental execution, not in intent. His intent is to give this money, most of this money they're asking for, to these families. He's not even keeping a lot for himself. He's definitely not giving much to the fucking guys running the operation for him.
No, they're getting what, like $1 million to go to a non-extradition country?
Yeah, they are vastly underpaid. $1 million, if you space it out in payments, it's only $50,000 a year for 20 years. Would you move to fucking France for $50,000 a year?
You might be able to.
You can't work.
Maybe back in 1996.
You can't work ever again. They're gonna fucking find you.
Well, you're a mercenary.
I'm just saying.
You'll be professional mercenaries going throughout the world.
Well, they weren't up until this day. I mean, Tony Todd and Gregory Sporlander take the fucking gig way too serious right away, but a lot of those guys don't. You think Raymond Cruz was going to go out there and be a mercenary? He seemed like a fairly honorable soldier. He had shit to do.
I don't know what David Morse was going to do.
David Morse would wanted nothing to do with it. He was just following orders. You know who else was following orders, though, Ron?
Who?
The Nazis. So, look how that turned out.
Did you just call David Morse a Nazi?
I wouldn't say that. I didn't directly call him a Nazi.
You better not.
He's a wonderful actor. He's one of the great character actors of our time.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You know what I mean? Like,
do you want to just announce it now? Because that's what I was thinking too.
Of course, he's clearly the Richard Tyson of.
We could not have picked a better Richard Tyson for our anniversary special than David Morse. Unless we pitched Richard Tyson himself.
He's so Richard. Look, so here's the thing. Richard Tyson has an award on his mantle in my mind. That's the David Morse Award for character acting, and David Morse has an award on his fucking mantle. That's the Richard Tyson Award for character acting.
Yeah.
So yeah, clearly he's the answer.
Yes.
And I mean, there's a lot of competition. We know that. Like I said, old Greggy Spores is in there. The Candyman's running around. There's a lot of
it's just.
Bokeem Woodbine's still jerking off from the big hit. There's a lot happening in this. But David Morse is still fucking dominating because he's fucking David Morse.
Yeah.
Star of Hack, the show about a cab driver solving mysteries and fighting crimes.
All
it's
right,
a real thing that happened. Yeah, a movie. Yeah, whatever. Sorry.
Get back to what was your point about Ed Harris being a great villain? Get to the point.
He's just such a I can't think of another villain in a movie that's not we're not talking comic book movies. Those don't count for these things. That's content that's existed for fucking 50, 80 years at this point. But from a sheer produced for the screen perspective, I cannot think other than Hans Gruber. And Hans Gruber's just he's a dick, but not a single ounce of good intention in that man. But I cannot think of a better villain outside of those two. He's so perfect. You want him to lose, but you understand why he probably should win. You feel bad for him, but you also you're happy to see him defeated. In his final moments, he actually helps.
Yep.
You know, he's his own worst enemy at times. It's Ed Harris. He's a fucking brilliant actor playing this bad guy. You know, they say films are made by their villains, not by their, heroes just going to do stuff. They only can act off the villain. And it's fucking Ed Harris. The man's an Academy Award nominee. He should have won a couple times. And he's playing fucking Bud Brigman gone wrong, you know?
Yep. Do you think it was Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio that was his wife?
Barb? Maybe. He didn't save her that second time. We're going to get back to that movie someday. God damn, we're going to get back to that. I fucking love that movie. I'm not going to start talking about...
one day when we can actually get together again and watch a film, we'll watch it at your... You got the DVD.
Yeah, so in 60 years, we'll be doing that movie.
Yes.
What else? You know, it's... I guess I can't stress enough. They really just set up his villainy as a sympathetic villain. They set him up so perfectly from the very beginning.
So is he your favorite part of this movie?
Ooh.
Or your favorite character in this movie?
That's a problematic question. My favorite part of this movie, I'll tell you right now, is the very end of it. Michael Bay.
Great smoke. Great smoke.
Yep, Michael Bay shoots a climax like nobody else, and that fucking the end of this fucking movie, I get like almost misty. I'm so fucking proud of Stanley Goodspeed. We got green smoke, and the bombs hit on the back of the island. You know, they fucking blow everybody up, and fucking the John Patrick Mason, a body can vaporize, and the whole thing's wonderful. So that's my favorite part of this movie.
Vandals.
But I'll say Ed Harris is not my favorite. You know, Hummel's not my favorite character because Stanley Goodspeed's such a good character.
Yeah,
and it's what Nicolas Cage's whole career should have been as an action hero.
He should have been a chemical super freak.
Basically, I mean, Nicolas Cage is a weird dude. When you let Nicolas Cage play a weird dude, you cannot beat Nicolas Cage at being a weird dude on screen. The problem was the rest of Nicolas Cage's action career was Nicolas Cage playing like a scientist who's very serious or a stoic warrior. It's not Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is he won an Academy Award for being a crazy drunk man. You know what I mean? He made his bones being in fucking Moonstruck and Raising Arizona. That's not... You need that Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage in Face Off, he's great. You know why? Because he's crazy. Because he's a fucking crazy person. Yeah. You know?
Oh, I love when they let Nick Cage go. I love Nick Cage. I don't know why people have such... what do they have against him?
I like Nick Cage. You see that Welcome to the Spider-Verse movie? Or the Into the Spider-Verse?
No, I did not watch it yet.
It was dope, and he has a role in it. Obviously, it's a voice role, but he's great in it.
How great would it have been to see him as Superman, though?
It would have been terrifying and interesting all at the same time. I would have been down to watch it, but I can't promise you it would have been good.
For those who don't know, Kevin Smith once had a super movie planned with him as Superman.
Yes, it was going to be directed by Tim Burton. They shot some screen tests. They had the suit. The suit looked fucking ridiculous. Didn't happen. Giant fucking spider. Kevin Smith has better podcasts than us. Go listen to him. You're probably better off. So, back to this movie. Have you ever noticed how people think the FBI is dumb in every movie ever?
Yes.
Not to mention, the one FBI guy can't read when they're in the hotel room.
Yeah.
He's reading that magazine. It's upside down. He's just he's arbitrarily flipping through pages. You can't read that way. He's like looks like a 6-year-old looking at a highlights magazine. It's fucking ridiculous. I have a note that just says Ed fucking Harris because I love him so much. So what else? I mean, what are your thoughts? What's the first thing that pops in here about this movie?
Sean Connery.
And give me some Sean Connery love then.
I was a very big fan of James Bond. I still am a big James Bond fan, and I remember seeing this in the movie theaters with my dad because we always watched the James Bond films. And seeing this, it was kind of like he was James Bond because he's playing an ex British agent, disavowed.
Her Majesty's SAS.
Yeah. So it made me giddy as a kid to watch this and seeing him again in an action role.
Well, he wasn't that's like a big internet theory, right? Is that John Patrick Mason is actually supposed to be James Bond?
Yeah. Well, I everyone's going to think that because why did they put him in the movie? Because it was an ex-British agent. So who are you going to think of as an ex-British agent other than James Bond? So, I mean, it could be both ways. It could just be that because he was an ex-British agent and he played James Bond, everyone's going to think that. Or it could be they put him in that role because they wanted it to be.
Well, I think they put him in that role because he's fucking Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy asked to have a cabin built on set, and they built him a cabin.
Yeah, he didn't want to travel to and from the island.
Sean Connery lived on Alcatraz like a crazy person for the entire filming this movie, only leaving to go play golf.
Yep. And to go to an executive meeting when the big wigs at Disney didn't like Michael Bay's direction with the film.
He stood up for him, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Sean Connery. Seems like the salt of the earth, that guy. But other than that, yeah, it was shot, I guess, in 95, right? 94, 95.
Yeah.
Now, how did it do in the theaters?
Did amazing in the theaters. It, I think it had a budget of $75 million. 75 million, and worldwide it grossed 335.
Nice.
134 million of it in the U.S.
And even if you account for like fucking advertising and stuff and all that, it's still,
96 was a big year. This was the 7th highest grossing film of 96.
What else was 96? Armageddon was 96 or 98? No, Armageddon was 98. Men in Black was 96, right?
It was a huge year. You had Independence Day, Twister, Mission Impossible, Jerry Maguire, Ransom.
Give me back my son.
Yeah, Time to Kill, Phenomenon, Scream, Eraser. I mean, these aren't all box office hits, but Michael, Space Jam, The English Patient, Broken Arrow. Yes, I said yes. I just put Michael in there. Yeah,
you just casually threw fucking the movie where John Travolta fucking gets in a fist fight with a bull.
Battle, Jingle All the Way, The Cable Guy, Jack, Executive Decision, Primal Fear, Tin Cup, Dragonheart, Up Close and Personal. Don't know why I said that one.
I'll tell you what.
Homeward Bound 2, Sleepers.
Of everything you just said, well, we're never talking about Sleepers. I'm sorry.
Happy Gilmore, Mars Attacks.
I don't need to ever watch that movie again. I'm good. Sleepers, not Happy Gilmore. So,
Striptease.
I'll tell you what we're going to do someday. Broken Arrow.
That's good. Black Sheep.
Anyway, Roads.
Daylight.
Okay, you can stop doing that now.
Gonna keep going.
I feel like you're going to keep doing that.
Gonna do it. All right, I'm done.
All right, anyhow. So.
Yeah, big year.
Yeah, big year. Also, big movie. It's like movie's like fucking almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's basically 2 movies.
I wouldn't say that.
It's a movie about Nicolas Cage finding Sean Connery, and then it's a movie about them going. I like the second movie better.
I don't see it as 2 movies though.
It's like a sequel.
It's a long first act, or it's
a very long first act. I think the problem is, and I love this movie. I'm gonna stop saying it because we all know I love this movie. But I will say I think the problem with the movie is that they like don't have enough faith in the audience to get the idea of the characters, so they keep bashing you over the head with the same facts about the characters. But there are, they do have good introductions. Stanley's first big scene is he makes the little fucking Rube Goldberg device, so he has ingenuity in him. He's able to think on the fly and fucking create things. And then he gets stuck in the chamber with all the smoke and the fucking Stanley and the baby doll and the sarin gas burning through the fucking suit.
You wanted me to stab myself in the heart?
You want me to stick this thing in my fucking heart? And that guy from I want to say he was on Grace Under Fire. That was a show. I think he was on that. Yeah, that scene is it's awesome, and it's a great Michael Bay little encapsulated introduction to a character through action. You don't get a lot of words out of Stanley Goodspeed in that scene, but you learn a lot about him just watching him operate. He's quirky. He makes these fucking weird things. But then when it comes down to business time, that motherfucker's really ready to go. When he's in his element, he's fearless and he's ready. He's willing to die to save all those people.
Does not hesitate.
Yeah, does not hesitate. And then he goes home, and you see him with the no shirt. Apparently there was this big argument whether Michael Bay thought Nicolas Cage just didn't want to have a shirt on. Nicolas Cage just thought that that's what he would do. I do agree. There is something, I will say this. Side note, anytime I've ever had a gig where I end up covered in doo-doo or something terrible, or like plaster or paint, you kind of want to sit around after that shower and really enjoy not wearing a shirt.
See, I cannot agree with that. I personally do not like sitting around without a shirt on.
You're not a no-shirt guy?
I like a shirt. I wouldn't mind having I could go shirtless if I had a very comfortable robe.
Oh, so would you go open robe or closed robe?
If I'm sitting down, it would be open. Like he's playing the guitar when he's sitting down. So it would probably be an open robe.
Balls open or just chest open?
Just chest. I'm not going full naked.
You're wearing Buy Me Have Kids. So your boxers robe? Socks?
No, sweatpants.
Sweatpants? Really?
Sweatpants or basketball shorts.
So you're saying sweatpants, no socks, robe, no shirt?
Oh, no, always socks. Oh, always socks.
Always socks.
Always.
Never no socks.
Yeah, I gotta have socks.
Because you're cold or because you just feel like you need to wear socks?
A little bit of both. I don't like touching dirt. This is just getting really weird. Okay.
You are a question wrapped in a riddle, Ron.
Yeah, I don't agree. Some people, I'm not that type of person. I understand where you're coming from. So maybe you are the Nicolas Cage type.
Oh, I'm very Nicolas Cage. I'm weird. I don't like wearing a shirt. I have a hairy chest and muscles.
Do you always change your hairdo? Do you have a new wig each movie?
No, but I am prematurely balding. And I did not marry the prom queen. So, I don't know. I guess I'm not Nicolas Cage. I also don't like the Beatles. I don't like that. Ugh. Well, I think we've talked about that. Not a Beatles guy.
We always talk about the Beatles, yes.
Not a Beatles guy. Ugh. Phil Collins all the way. No Beatles. Anyhow.
Fuck yeah, Phil Collins.
Well, Phil Collins, Steve Winwood. We're not going to go. Sorry, it's been a while since you've done this.
High life again.
Back in the high life. Oh, such a good song. Such a good song. The finer things keep shining through. Anyway.
I feel like snapping my fingers and going along with you.
You should. You know what? Fuck talking about movies. Let's just sing for the next half hour and poll people on if they fucking listen to the rest of it.
You already downloaded it now. We still got the numbers.
Exactly. You know what? I'll say this. I'm going to take 30 seconds to point this out. Remember when they gave Conan O'Brien Jay Leno's show and then Jay Leno came back and fucked him out of it because Jay Leno sucks?
Yes.
They had that last week where it didn't matter anymore and he just started doing crazy shit on air.
Yeah.
What's cool about podcasting is that's every week.
Yep.
Because it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
We can't be canceled. We pay to have this put out.
Yep.
It's like public access without censors.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's a great medium. Anyhow, why are there flames outside the bathroom?
What?
When he vomits in the sink at the mobile operations base.
Uh-huh.
Why are there clearly flames outside of the windows?
I did not notice that.
I don't know if it's supposed to be flames or some sort of weird sun coming down on the water thing, but it looks like flames. Very confusing to me.
I think it's sun going down on the water, but
I'll be honest with you. I didn't think of that until as I was saying the flames thing. And it's too late now. It's been said already. It's out in the ether. Next question. Do you think they came up with the idea to have John Patrick Mason have three washers, a squirt bottle filled with kerosene, and waterproof matches first? Or you think they were like, this dude needs to light someone's shoelaces on fire?
What are the washers for?
He never uses the washers, I don't think. That's bothered me forever. And it's not even like we looked at all the trivia for this movie. No one even mentions it. It just gets fucking forgotten.
So he has three washers, a bottle of kerosene, and waterproof matches.
Yes, that's all
so
he
can
wants.
set people on fire and then hit them with a washer. He can throw the washer at their eye while they're on flames. Or maybe it's to keep him amused, so he flicks with his thumb the washer in the air, and he's got to use the kerosene and a lighter and shoot the flame through the washer in the air.
I like to think he used the washers as some kind of advanced shoelace tying device.
Okay.
So he ties that guy's shoelaces together with the washers, then sprays him with kerosene, then the waterproof matches.
Did they ever say how big the washers were? Are they like 9/16, half inch? Are they like colossal ones, like a big incher?
I like to think he immediately took the washers, thinking he was going back to prison, keistered them, put them in the old prison wallet up his butt, and he was bringing them back because the sink inside of his cell was leaking. And he was like, Womack's going to fuck me. At least I'm going to get some fucking plumbing supplies out of this. If I'm going to be in prison forever, I'm not going to deal with the leaky sink. That's what I think.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about the rapings in the shower anymore.
Perhaps he's losing his sex appeal.
Yes.
But yeah, do you think they were like, we want this motherfucker to light this guy's shoelaces on fire? How do we set that up? Or you think they were like, they set it up, they're like, ooh, we need to do something with some of that shit. Let's light his shoelaces on fire.
Maybe like something goes wrong a lot with washers in the Navy SEAL world. Like maybe where they need it for their guns, so you can use a washer.
You're still on the washers.
I'm still puzzled by the washers.
I'm on the screenwriting process of how the fuck did any look. I love this movie, but how did any like this? And it was written by Jonathan Hensley. Did work on this. Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino apparently fucking did some rewrite work. A lot of talented people wrote this movie. Who the fuck said it makes any sense at all to just, for the sake of setting up someone's shoelaces being lit on fire, have this guy specifically request 3 items, only use 2 of them, and have all 3 of them be things no one could possibly ever fucking want to use specifically?
Yeah.
Maybe, had he gotten to the island, had a usage for the kerosene and the matches. Right? Like he starts a fire, does something, and they're like, oh, that's why he has that. Then he lights the shoelaces on fire. I'd understand. But clearly he has no other use for them other than light this. Was he the whole time? He's like, I'm going to light some motherfucker's shoelaces on fire? Is that like week 17 of SAS training? How to light someone's shoelaces on fire?
But also, if you know the guy was like this SAS agent, you don't fucking give him anything like that, because that motherfucker's gonna come up with he's MacGyver basically.
Yeah, he's MacGyver.
He just made a fucking 2-way radio with the fucking washer and the lighter, and the kerosene was just for shits and giggles.
Oh, like the professor on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah,
but British.
Yes.
A 3-hour tour.
Yep. Hey, little buddy.
Much like the Alcatraz tour, which was still going on when they shot this movie.
Yeah.
There was fucking tour groups watching fucking Ed Harris act. And then it got shut down halfway through.
Well, there was the government shutdown. And
it was an actual government shutdown?
Yes, so they had to stop giving tours, but the movie was allowed to continue on.
So Ranger Bob was out of work for a little while?
Yeah.
Apparently he was so funny that Ed Harris spent the whole day on set just giggling at him.
He's a good actor.
I don't know who he is, but he's good. He's good. Maybe he knows where the washers are. I'm going with keister. I'm going with those washers are still in John Patrick Mason's anus.
You're saying they're keistered still.
I think he keistered him. I think he couldn't get him out. Well, he's not going to ask Jade. He's not going to ask Claire Forlani.
Jade
Angelou. His daughter he hasn't seen in 30 years. He's not going to fucking try to reestablish a relationship with her by having her fucking unkeister some fucking washers from his butthole. That's not going to happen. Maybe he asks fucking Stacy, her friend who's wearing a leather fucking backwards Kangol hat, a leather jacket, and fucking mom jeans. Because
you could not get any more 90s than that.
Yep. Like she went to a fucking mall in 1994 and was like, See that mannequin? Give me that. I think that was just some girl Michael Bay was making stuff with at that point in her life, because there's almost no reason for her to be there other than like attractive blonde lady on screen for a second. So I don't know, but yeah, the FBI's borderline, mentally challenged in this movie. The FBI guy can't read. Anthony, what's his name? The guy from Boston Common.
Yeah. Hold on.
I always want to say Anthony Edwards. It's not. That's Goose.
Anthony Clark.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony Clark.
Okay, because I always want to say Anthony Edwards. Goose. R.I.P. Goose got his head smashed on the cockpit. And then I want to say Anthony Anderson, but that's the guy from Blackish. So yeah,
Yes.
Anthony Clark. He plays the most stereotypical gay man in history. But he's good at it because he's this funny guy.
You were a big fan of him. You like
I
that.
liked-
You love that show that he had.
I still laugh at that joke when he gives the cow the hamburger. Eat it, cow. Eat it, stupid cow. That's fucking great. That and when he says he grew up his hometown, wherever it is, he's like, if you ever have a year to live, move there because every moment feels like a fucking eternity. It's a great line. So, yeah, it's just a cool movie, man. I just like this flick. I like the second half better. The Trembler's in another movie. I don't remember what movie it is, but it's in another movie.
The what?
The Trembler device.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the Trembler pops up in fucking Bad Boys 2
Ah,
when they're going to
Michael
infiltrate.
Bay.
Yeah, Michael Bay he reuses props when they're going to fucking infiltrate. He also likes to reuse fucking military people because I'm pretty sure half those dudes were in this movie.
Well, I
Yeah,
think a lot of directors like to use the same people, especially if it's like military and things like that. They already know how to play the part, so you're going to use them.
That's fair. I'll tell you what they think probably is like the biggest flub of this movie, though. Michael Bay himself said it.
What is that?
You know what it is? The flame bursts.
What, when he has to go underneath the incinerator?
Yes.
Yeah, that whole thing. It just, like, he would have been burned.
No, not that. It's that Michael Bay himself said, why the fuck are these things still running when the fucking prison's been closed for fucking 30 years?
But it's not closed. They're giving tours.
Yeah, but
so
they're not.
obviously that has to either produce electricity, that has to do something on the island. It's
an incinerator chute
So
for,
then
like-
there's trash from tourists.
for like bodies and stuff. It's that kind of
They use it
incinerator.
for trash.
You think they're fucking throwing trash out through that thing in the fucking basement of the fucking catacombs of the rock?
They ain't spending the time to have it on a fucking cargo ship.
So you're telling me there's a guy who works for the Parks Department in San Francisco whose job every fucking night it is to go down through the cistern, take the rolling fucking mine carts like fucking Donkey Kong Country. all the way
He's
All
jumping
the
up,
way-
catching those bananas.
Yep, all the way across the fucking
Good
property.
reference.
Thank you. All the way across the fucking property. He's lugging this trash, gets out, puts it through the fucking incinerator into the fucking San Francisco Bay, and then casually walks back the 2 miles, retakes which he has to pull himself because they only go one way on the fucking mine carts. Then gets on the fucking ship to go home with Ranger Bob.
And I think on the whole time he's doing that, he's going, "Hang on, lady, we go for a ride."
Oh, man. I can't even tell you to fuck that movie because I actually liked it better because you made me watch it again.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie.
So I'll tell you what else is amazing in this movie.
The
That was a poor
score,
segue.
the movie score,
Give me some love on that there, buddy.
holy fuck, I love it.
done did it?
listen to it nonstop. I will listen to this any time of day. The entire score. Hans Zimmer is a brilliant, brilliant man.
I'm a big Hans Zimmer guy. I like his usage of what's that, a xylophone or a steel drum? Both.
Oh, I thought you were going to say his usage of Enya.
Or he's always using a marimba, whatever the fuck those things are
I
called.
have no idea. I just know I like it. Well, you're talking about a lot of the stuff from Gladiator he did, I believe.
Yes.
Is what you're referring to.
They did Gladiator. The fucking. I'm thinking of also the score for True Romance,
Ah, great score. Yeah.
made by Tony Scott, who's not Michael Bay. Well, let's be honest. Michael Bay has fallen
No, but
off.
Hans Zimmer did the score, so doesn't
Yeah,
have to be.
exactly. But Michael Bay's fallen off. And Michael Bay was most talented. His good stuff in the beginning was all basically him doing a Tony Scott impression.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you right now, Tony Scott's possibly one of, if not the best action directors of the last 30 years. God rest his soul. The man was fucking amazingly talented, and I think Michael Bay's doing a Tony Scott. If you told me Tony Scott the next movie, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. This movie looks just like Crimson Tide.
Has a very I believe Hans Zimmer did that score too.
He did.
Yeah, no, it does have that feel. But I
Well-
think some people, like, again, you use the same military people from a military movie, because this is a military movie.
Yes.
It just has that feel. You go for that feel. Like, he probably looked at that and was like, that's the feel I want. That's a real military, mood and setting.
Yeah, I think it probably has a lot to do with the old Bruckheimer showing up too.
Oh, absolutely has to do with him.
Old Yeri Brooks.
Yeah.
He was, he's a big part of it. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I hate to tell you, I got more stuff to make fun of for this movie though.
Well, any movie you can make fun of.
Well, not even make fun of just stuff I noticed on my more analytical. We always talk about that, how we've seen these movies 100 times, we never really analyze them, and then you sit down and watch it to take notes, and you're looking for stuff to take notes on, and you start realizing a lot of flaws more than anything because the good parts stick in your head. You know. If you told me without me doing it, if I hadn't rewatched this movie at all, and you said talk about The Rock for 30 minutes, I'd only say nice things because that's what's stuck in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
When you sit down and watch with a pad in front of you, you start noticing all the fucking stuff that doesn't make any sense.
You know what? No, it didn't make sense to me. So he uses the quarter to circle the glass to break it, but he really didn't need to do that because he just used his elbow anyway, and it's not a diamond.
Yeah, I noticed that also.
Like, it's not a diamond; it's just glass. You broke it with your elbow. You didn't make a circle pop out.
So here's the thing. Wouldn't that be plexiglass? It's an interrogation room.
Maybe that's why they gave him the washers.
They gave the washers after.
Yeah, because he was so good with that quarter. Bless you.
Thank you. So they thought he was going to fucking cut through glass with the washers?
I don't know. Maybe because he was that dumb to try to cut through glass with a fucking quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the man's a master escape artist. And I get that they're trying to show he's fucking intelligent. But what the fuck? Yeah, you're right. He just fucking scrawls a fucking oblong circle in the fucking glass and then elbows through. He definitely would have cut the fuck out of his. You ever put your fucking hand through glass?
I've fallen through glass, yes.
Yeah. There's no coming out of that without a fucking giant. That dude's tricep would be fucking bleeding all over the fucking floor.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't pop it. He didn't pop the glass with it. He went through it.
You went right through it.
And I'm sorry, that chair was aluminum. He ain't busting that quarter like that.
Yeah, that's not some.
Have you ever tried to? It'd take a lot more force than one or two fucking stomps on that thing.
I've definitely hit a fucking quarter with like a hammer and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah, not happening. Side note, I once knew a guy who, we're not going to say his name because we're not trying to get him in trouble, even though it's 20 years ago. I once knew a guy, you knew him too, who hit a fucking parking meter with his car and it fell over, so he took the parking meter. I watched that kid spend 4 hours one time.
No,
trying to
those
open
things
that
are
fucker.
indestructible. I think that's the
Indestructible.
same fucking material that does the black boxes in planes.
Yeah. He took a fucking 22 caliber rifle and shot it and nothing happened.
Well,
That's
22 is not
completely
that
insane.
powerful. Basically, you could take a BB gun, a high-powered BB gun, and it's the same as a 22.
But yeah, you'd think it would fucking at least dent it.
Yeah,
Nothing.
no, that thing's solid steel.
Nothing. So here's the thing. That scene where they're in the fucking they walk into the lab and he throws the knife at the guy.
Mm-hmm.
he says, "You must never hesitate." He says that to Goodspeed, right?
Yeah.
Is at that point you think that this movie is going to be something where he's like teaching him lessons? Doesn't it seem like it's setting that up?
I've never thought of that.
I always felt that way. Like it's written like he goes, "You must never hesitate." Like he's giving him like sage advice, and he's going to do that throughout the movie. He immediately fucking stops doing that though. Also,
You mean you're a master of Mortal Kombat?
exactly, Mortal Kombat. Imagine fucking Christopher Lambert popped up in there just to say it. Imagine Christopher Lambert as John Patrick Mason.
Do you think John Patrick Mason is fucking Ramirez?
Maybe. He fucking. I could see that. Ramirez. I could see that.
That's who should have been in this fucking movie also, Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown, little Clancy Brown for that ass.
Imagine Clancy Brown as Ranger Bob.
Oh my god. They wouldn't have taken the island. Would have fucking started chopping motherfuckers' heads off. Fucking Ranger Kurgan.
I don't know why I put him in that role, but
in my it's because it's better that way.
Well,
in my
no,
mind,
it's because
he's got
of the Green Mile, but not the Green Mile.
that makes sense.
Shawshank.
Wait, wasn't it? Wait, which one's which?
He was
no,
in
yeah,
Shawshank.
You're right. Yeah, he's in Shawshank. No, but now I'm picturing the Kurgan in the Ranger Bob outfit, but he's the Kurgan. He's got like the fucking paperclip through his ear and the fucking neck thing.
So all I'm thinking about is Sean Connery right now, Nicolas Cage. He's one of my favorite lines is when he's like, "What in the name of Zeus's butthole did you get out of your cell?" Or how in the name? So he's spinning the thing, trying to get, the fucking sheet to open the cell. They get out of the cell, they walk downstairs, and all you hear is, "Ramirez."
Oh, my God.
And
They'll
then
be shitting
fucking
their
Queen comes out of nowhere.
Oh, man. They'll be shitting their pants.
Yeah.
I almost said pantses.
Panties?
I almost said pantses. I don't know why. Oh, man. Now I'm just stuck thinking about fucking the Kurgan fucking as a park ranger.
Now that we went completely off topic with actors.
Nothing.
So,
Nothing
little,
wrong with that. So, yeah.
Trivia. Arnold
Okay.
Schwarzenegger was supposed to play Stanley Goodspeed.
I thought he was supposed to play I thought they offered him Mason.
I believe it was Stanley Goodspeed.
I think it was Mason, sir.
I believe you're wrong.
I believe you're an asshole.
Ramirez. No, it was Stanley Goodspeed.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm reading it now. So go fuck yourself.
I don't believe you.
No, it is. No, it is. I'm reading it right now.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you win.
Yeah, I know.
Huh.
Go fuck yourself.
I guess I was fucking dying a hail of bullets or
So,
something.
Since I'm reading trivia on it, because our research is just opening up Google, there is a funny story where William Forsythe got confused as an extra, and they tried to deny him a hot dog.
I'm sorry. Repeat that, please.
So he was hungry, so he went to the caterer, and he went to go grab a hot dog, and he grabbed a hot dog, and the caterer yelled at him, tried to chase him off, saying, "Extras aren't allowed hot dogs." And he looked at her and said, "Well, I'm going to have it anyway." And then the woman called security on him, who luckily recognized him and let him have his hot dog.
For some reason, when you said extras can't have hot dogs, all I thought about was money can't buy knives.
Kwanzaa, dude. Kwanzaa.
I don't know why. That's just one in my head. So I have to go back to that scene where Mason throws the knife and says, "You must never hesitate."
Oh yeah. We started there and we wound up at hot dog. Okay, go back.
Okay. The guy with the 2 machine guns, who I don't think there's any fucking Force Recon Marine in the world who's gonna fire 2 fucking AR-15s at you at the same time, or M16s, where the fuck those were. It's just not an efficient way to shoot anybody, but whatever.
Yeah.
That guy pulls the grenade out, says, "I fucking got something for you," right? Pulls the thing. Mason looks at him, has a gun trained on him, I believe an MP5, looks up, shoots the air conditioner instead of shooting him in the head. But the air conditioner doesn't like fall on his grenade hand and then protect him from the grenade. It just falls on his head.
Because if he shoots him, he's watching him. You shoot up and you hit something up, his natural reaction was to stop what he was doing and look up going, is that going to fall?
You think so?
Yeah, watch the scene again. He shoots up and he looks up going, why the fuck he shoot up? And all of a sudden, giant air conditioner falls on his head. But I don't think he would have been able to shoot that down. Those things are held on by steel.
True.
And made not to fall and kill people.
I feel like he hesitated.
I don't think he did not hesitate. He thought of another way to kill him. There's a difference between hesitating and thinking.
True. I like that Goodspeed's so bad at being covert. That makes me happy. He's a great character. He really is.
He is.
Apparently, although Zeus's butthole and all that stuff, your favorite line, he ad-libbed all that.
Yep.
It was his idea to make the character not curse.
Yeah.
It was all supposed to be Bill Goodspeed.
Bill. I don't like Bill. Stanley's
Bill
much
Goodspeed.
better name.
Wait, Nicolas Cage came up with that too.
See?
Old Nicky Cage was like, making weird Nicolas Cage noises and fucking, yawing and shit. And they were like, he's like, Ashby Stanley.
He's a fucking streamlined butterfly with that.
I made the noise that fucking Robert, what's his name, fucking made. Robert Duvall made in that movie. Didn't work. Didn't come across.
He should have been in this movie too. Him and the Kurgan should have been in this movie.
Oof. Him and the Kurgan? That's a lot. It's a lot of magic on screen at once.
This movie already has a lot of magic on screen.
A lot of magic. I have written down also, in your honor, Goodspeed loses innocence. Because I feel like that's your favorite thing to say in the whole world. Is referencing a character losing his innocence. When he shoots that guy, when he shoots the dude in the fucking
they
when he shoots the guy
Ed Harris stole Nick Cage's innocence.
Yeah, because he shoots that dude in the fucking mine carts when they're playing Donkey Kong.
No, Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, and that's where that comes back. That's the only place you must never hesitate thing comes back. Is he goes, I'm glad you didn't hesitate. But like that's a weird payoff.
Yeah.
I love it. I love this movie. It doesn't make a lot of sense. A lot of great lines in this movie. What's the most famous one? What do you think?
Losers whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Yep. Carla was the prom queen. That line gets quoted constantly. But you know what line gets quoted between you and I more than anything?
Which one?
The black gentleman who's about to sniper rifle old Nicolas Cage. Going, gotcha, baby.
Yes.
I got you, baby.
I got you, baby.
I got you, baby. I've heard you say that more than I fucking heard you say hello, I think, in my life. I got you, baby. I got you, baby. That, and he's also the one who says what, Ron?
I can't remember.
Starts with an I'd.
I'd? Oh, I'd take pleasure in gutting you, boy.
I'll take pleasure in gutting you, boy. I'll take pleasure in gutting you, boy.
Who are these people?
Bunch of kill for pleasure, fucking psychopathic Marines. And also, what's funny, though, is that guy hangs out with the bald guy who's fucking super racist.
Yeah, but they're Marines.
But the guy, I'm talking about the guy
there's
who's
only
like,
Marines. To Marines, there's Marines and then everybody else.
The guy, he says something racist, some black people at the beginning of the movie, if I remember correctly. And then fucking he's all like, I tell you, my old man was fucking Irish, English prick. That guy.
Yeah.
He's a real fucking asshole, that dude.
Yeah, especially since he's not English. He's Scottish.
Yeah, he gets hung with a chain.
Or a Spaniard, if you're
following the source material,
yeah.
Yes. Gotcha, baby. Gotcha, baby.
So one thing that I have a gripe with, VX gas.
Yes.
One, does not make your skin melt off.
I'm weirdly disappointed in that.
Two, it takes about an hour or two to really start setting in.
Really?
And three, a shot of epinephrine or whatever the hell is in the pen, the needle, cannot keep your skin from melting off. It just keeps your heart from stopping. What was it, Craig? Did you think of it?
Atropine.
Atropine, yeah.
Atropine.
So that's not going to keep your skin from melting off.
I always wondered that. Is that I'm not crazy for thinking that's
No,
not going to fucking
we've
work.
actually talked about this in the past.
On the show or in real life?
In real life, if you can't remember the past 45 minutes, we haven't talked about that. Yeah, in real life, we've talked about
I mean
that
on
years ago.
the show, like in other episodes.
No. No, in years past.
Sounds like something we talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like it makes a lot of sense that wouldn't do that. So what is it? Just keeps your heart. So your skin would just melt. Your skin melts off from contact, though, right?
Yeah.
Like I always wonder, is your skin melting off isn't like an internal reaction, inhalation, right? It's a reaction to it's corrosive.
The gas. Yeah, it's the corrosive gas.
Bad news is the gas corrosive is melting through our suits. We're gonna stick this in my fucking heart. That guy does not. Marvin Isherwood is fucking useless.
That's why they had Stanley Goodspeed come and not the rest of them.
True. Well, he leaves. He's gonna go make roach motels.
Oh, he leaves?
Yeah, he's quitting. So when Stanley sees him, he says it. He calls him. When Stanley calls him for help, that's what he says. I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna go make roach motels for Orkin or some shit like that.
Huh. I thought that was a joke.
No, I thought that was real. So, how good is the shower room scene? That sounded weird.
I was just going to talk about that. With Michael Bean, when he gives that speech.
Oh man, I know you want to say it.
What?
At least they spilled the same blood in the same mud. You know goddamn well I can't give that order.
You have to give that order.
I will not give that order. Oh
give
my god.
Give that order.
That is so. Oh my god. I get tense. I'll tell you this. Every time I watch this movie, I have to watch that scene because it's so wonderful. I get immediately depressed at how sad it is that they all get killed. And I have to like step away. I have to like pause the movie for a second and go like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes it less upsetting is Danny Nucci's delivery of the immortal line, "Let go of me. Let go of me."
Don't go up there.
Where'd you dig this guy up? It's classified. It's fucking,
that was a great scene. I mean, the tension, they build so much tension in there, and you almost want to jump when the brick falls.
oh my god,
Because
it's so
the
upsetting.
tension builds for you too.
Oh, it's so bad. So upset. It's just so upsetting.
Yeah. Michael Bean. Sad.
Yeah, poor Michael Bean dies, and you really think he's gonna have more of a fucking role in there?
Yeah. You were hoping he had more of a role. I would have rathered him have been just on the other side of the mic with William Forsythe.
What, just fucking stay in there? Everybody else dies except
Yeah.
for him. That's pretty funny. Well, I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, but a bunch of the Navy SEALs are actual Navy SEALs in this movie too.
Are they?
Yeah, and he said that he was. Sorry, I bumped my mic. He says he was actually super nervous to act as their, pretend to be their leader, and that he was like just fucking freaking out. He was like almost flubbing his lines, and he was like shook because he's sitting here trying to deliver the lines of a Navy SEAL to an actual Navy SEAL. And he said it really unnerved him.
I could picture that.
Yeah,
But I'm sure most of them loved him in Navy SEALs. So
of course.
they were
Navy
pretty cool with it.
Ooh, Navy SEAls. Clerks. Anyway, I feel like Danny Nucci's whole speech, where he's like, to retake impenetrable forces held, that whole thing.
Yeah.
I want to say that's like a fucking log line that they wrote for the movie. It's something behind the scenes.
It was for like the press junket.
Yeah, like he fucking read that word for word, basically. I'm pretty sure that's how that happened. But yeah, I mean, we're actually I'm looking at time. I'm shocked how much we've actually covered. I thought we'd fucking digress more than we even usually do.
No,
But
no, we've been doing good. We actually we hit on a bunch of things we want. We talked about the cast.
Yeah.
Well, as much as we could.
I like how we're so bad at this that we have to stop and compliment ourselves for fucking actually doing the thing we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're like, good job, Craig. You spoke words. I'll tell you what else I like. The Mr. Henderson's head moment.
Yeah.
When he's, what about Mr. Henderson's head?
Okay.
Okay.
What does it mean? I always say that one too.
You do say that a lot. I've always had my one issue with that scene is it always feels like it's more than it is. Like when he's walking down the corridor and all the people are looking at him, it feels more like the end of the movie than what it actually is. You know what I mean? The music cue, that whole thing just feels like it should be a little bit more, but I guess it's supposed to kind of show that he's willing to sacrifice himself for these other people. And then I don't
think I think he knew he was going to get out of that.
What's the thing is, I never noticed again till this rewatch, right?
His confidence in that is just remarkable.
Well, I'll tell you what. So here's the thing: when they're in the cells, and he goes, he's not going to do it, and he's like, I read it in his eyes. He's like, what do you mean you read it in his eyes? Right? He's like, how the fuck do you know? I never realized till this rewatch. When he says, personally, I think you're a fucking idiot, he's doing that on purpose to see if he to read him.
Oh, I gotcha.
I always thought it was just him reacting because he's a fucking badass. He's like, yo, fuck you. I don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
He does it on purpose because they show Ed Harris's eyes. When he says that, he looks at him and he's trying to see if Ed Harris is the kind of guy that would fucking like torture him or shoot him over that. And he was kind of bluffing. He was hedging his bet to see if fucking Ed Harris reacted. And when he only reacted by cracking him once and fucking letting him go, he's like, oh, this motherfucker doesn't. He's not going to kill. This guy would have killed me if he was that kind of guy. And he's right, because when they launched, again, because Ed Harris, great villain here, and Francis Hummel, they launched the fucking missiles. Missile loose. They fucking launched the missiles. And he fucking fucking fucks with the coordinates. It doesn't hit the Raider game. It doesn't go to Oakland. So they think we're gutless. Oh, great. Not gutless, just incompetent. Tell him, Greggy Sporlander. Captains Fry and Darrow reporting for duty. Those two dicks.
You don't want to mess with Candyman.
Oh, Candyman's fucking just vicious.
Yeah.
He insults the man's musical taste for no reason. I don't listen to soft shit.
Do you know the song Rocket Man?
Rocket Man. Are you familiar with the song Rocket Man by Elton John? So great. I don't listen to soft
that's you.
Shit.
You're him. You're the Rocket Man.
So good. This movie's fucking wonderful. Nicolas Cage is great in this movie. It's like the perfect role for him, And someone told him he couldn't. Someone told him he couldn't do action. He was like, "Yo, fuck you, I'll do it," and did it.
He did great in action. I mean, like you said, Face Off was good. This is like even National Treasure. I know
National Treasure is awesome.
Wow, I wasn't expecting you to say that. But he's even great at that.
The second one is ass. The first one's great though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the second one has Ed Harris, and you want it to be good because Ed Harris is in it. But the second one's just absolute shit. But the first one's wonderful.
I feel like the second one is. I always think it's like the same movie as Kingdom's Crystal Skull, the last Indiana Jones one.
It kind of
Very
is.
similar movie.
Yeah. But without fucking Shia LaBeouf fucking swinging on trees with monkeys.
Ugh.
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 Fuck that. Ugh. Fucking
Ugh.
fuck that movie.
Ugh.
Anyway. Ugh.
Ugh.
So, I don't know what to fucking say. Oh, yeah. I think Nicolas Cage always should have played this role. I think that's where his career kind of went off the rails was if you always kept him as like a weird everyman who's thrust into a heroic situation, a la this, a la National Treasure.
Gone in 60 Seconds?
Gone in 60 Seconds. He's just a car thief in Gone in 60 Seconds. He's not a fucking actual action hero.
No, he's just
right?
he's an average Joe, though.
Yeah. That's who you want to see.
Randall Raines.
Yeah, exactly. That's the Nicolas Cage that comes across on screen people enjoy. It's when they started getting like Con Air is entertaining, but Con Air is fucking dumb. It's when they
do not knock Con Air. I am waiting. I cannot tell. I am waiting for the day that me and my daughter can play the role out, and I could go where she could go, I got to picture you. I go, I got to picture you too. I cannot fucking wait for that.
I really should have written on a piece of paper that you're going to say that and then mailed it to you. Because the moment
because I've been talking about that for years. Before I even knew I was going to have a daughter. I always said that.
That fucking gross ass bunny. Ugh.
I got to picture you too. I mean that.
I understand that. I understand that it's his daughter and she is supposed to accept him. But that bunny was fucking. That bunny had hepatitis all over it. It was an irresponsible bit of parenting, giving that child the bunny.
Yes.
Also, his lawyer was terrible.
Put down the bunny.
Terrible lawyer.
Well, no, I think didn't he get off and then the judge like reversed the role or something? I don't know. Well, let's not talk. We'll save that movie because that's a great movie.
Ridiculous. It does have John Cusack as an action hero, which should have happened a lot more.
And Cole Meany.
And Cole Meany's running around there. But yeah, I just think that's Nicolas Cage that really should have existed. Not like next Nicolas Cage or knowing Nicolas Cage or fucking The Last Witch Hunter, all this shit. Like fucking whatever. That Last Witch Hunter was Vin Diesel, but whatever. With The Witcher, whatever the fuck it was. I just think that Nicolas Cage as a guy thrust into a big situation works. Even fucking Raising Arizona.
Uh-huh.
He's just a dude. A fucking ex-con who's fucking forced to fucking act. That's the Nicolas Cage who works, you know? We gotta do that movie. I love that movie. That movie's fucking wonderful. If you've ever, we will hopefully. Will you? Do you like Raising Arizona?
I love it. I've talked about that movie. You said you didn't want to do it.
I did not say that. That's insanity. I wouldn't say that.
You did.
I would not say that. I want to do Raising Arizona someday soon. And I will tell you this now before we even do it. If you are even kind of someone who's a guy out there who's thinking about having a kid,
watch that movie.
Watch that. That movie's. I'm not gonna spoil it. We'll talk about it someday. That movie's just so fucking wonderful. But yeah, Nick Cage is great in this movie. I feel like you love Sean Connery. I feel like we haven't talked enough about how wonderful he is in this. And this and that movie Entrapment were really the last big things he did. He did fucking League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and Finding Forrester, horrible. Right?
Yeah.
But that was it. This was like his last. He hasn't really. I mean, to it on purpose, obviously. He decided not to.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything for the last 25 years, really.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't had to. I mean, he's old enough where he wants to retire. I mean, he's not going to be running around doing this. Although I wish he would have did the last Indiana Jones.
Oh, right? That would have been fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Take that umbrella out and fucking make all those geese fly up and fucking kill that guy again?
I have done that once or twice on the golf course, chasing geese with an umbrella going...
I was going to say, like, you killed the man with seagulls? It's ridiculous. That's that movie. That's the movie where Sean Connery fights the Nazis with seagulls.
Yes. And then he shoots his own plane down. They got us. Of course.
That's a fucking great movie. Oh, my God. It's an escape. This movie's so fucking good. Or it's a rescue. That's what he yells at him. Now I'm just fucking stuck thinking about fucking Last Crusade, another movie we have to do someday. I'll tell you right now, Last Crusade. If you tell me I have to watch one Indiana Jones movie the rest of my life, I'm picking Last Crusade.
I am too.
I love that movie. Some people shit on it. I think those people are stupid and should go to hell.
I don't know how anyone could shit on an Indiana Jones movie except for the fourth one. So
bad. But anyway, yeah, man.
So we've referenced 3 Indiana Jones movies in this podcast by now. Yeah. Okay.
Without referencing the first one?
Yeah.
The one in which Indiana Jones didn't have to be there?
Where they just killed themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, why fight them? Let them cake the ark.
That movie, I love them. There is very few movies in the history of movies, and I've watched a lot of fucking movies, where I like 96% of the movie as much as I like that movie, and hate the other 4% so strongly as I do Raiders of the Lost Ark. That movie is fucking wonderful, and at the time was fucking innovative and groundbreaking and awesome. And then the last fucking 4 minutes, they're like, you know, all that stuff Indiana Jones did? Now we're going to tie him to a pole while the bad guys accidentally kill themselves.
Yep.
Do you imagine if imagine you went to watch Enter the Dragon and the final climactic fight scene happens where all the prisoners get out and start fighting everybody in the courtyard, and Bruce Lee goes to chase down the main bad guy, and when he gets to the back room, he slipped and impaled himself on his own hook. That is the end of fucking the first Indiana Jones movie. You there?
Oh, I'm listening to your rant.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if Jaws, they go out on the boat. Quint breaks the radio. They're like, oh my God, we're going to die. Jaws hits the side of the boat. They freak out. Richard Dreyfuss is like, we're all going to die. And they look down and Jaws' head is missing and he's just a fucking carcass. That is the end of Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark. That is the most insane choice to end an otherwise brilliant movie I've ever fucking saw. I just can't. It's insane. It's complete batshit insanity. Complete bat. We will never do that movie unless you force me to, because of fuck the end of that movie. Anyway, The Rock.
The Rock. Ed Harris. Nicolas Cage. Michael Biehn. William Forsythe. Vanessa Marcel.
I
Claire
thought
Forlani.
keep going.
All right, I'm done.
So we know who I don't know if we have more to say, but we know who old Ricky Tyson is.
Yeah,
who's
David
our
Morse.
old? Yeah, of course. Who's our old Pam Pam?
I personally am going to say Vanessa Marcel.
I'm saying Claire Forlani, Ron.
I figured you would.
I had a crush on her when I was a child.
I had a crush on the other one.
Claire Forlani. That makes me happy.
That's weird.
She was the most 1996 person that ever 1996'd.
This was her first role, right?
Claire Forlani, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Well, no,
then
she was in
she
Mallrats.
went. Oh yeah, Mallrats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before. That was before,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she fucking Mr. Furious and whatever Meet Joe. She met Joe Black.
Meet Joe
and-
Black was her big role.
Yeah.
That was.
I've never
her.
seen that movie. I've only seen the part where Brad Pitt gets hit by a car.
I've only heard the Goo Goo Doll song.
Oh boy. You want to talk about something I don't like? It's anything by the Goo Goo Dolls.
See, I love me some Goo Goo Dolls.
That is. Agree to disagree, because I have nothing nice to say right now.
Yeah, I got nothing nice to say about you.
That's fair. That's fair. You once saw Sugar Ray in concert in the 2000s.
Well, here's the thing. I don't get many days off. I don't get many vacations, especially in the summer. So when me and my wife wanted to go somewhere to Atlantic City, rather than she doesn't really gamble, so we went to a concert, and the only one has to be was Sugar Ray, Smash Mouth, Uncle Kracker, and there was another one. That's all I can think of. But yeah, them. And Sugar Ray, quite the fucking showman.
I always thought you saw them at a bar.
No, I saw. Who did I see? The Gin Blossoms at a bar. I saw them in Mulcahy's pub.
Wow.
Years and years ago, like
did he-
15 years ago.
Did he bring the blender with him?
No.
Tomorrow when you drive around this town and let the cops chase us around. Oh, man. Fuck that song.
Fuck you.
Everywhere you go, I'll
Listen, if there has to
follow
be
you
a
down.
band that's going to define the 90s, the Gin Blossom comes close to it.
I'm more of a better than Ezra guy.
Well, they just had the one
wah.
good.
It was good living with you. Wah. I had that fucking tape single. The B-side was Circle of Friends.
I figured usually the B-sides on singles were the instrumentals.
Nope, Circle of Friends. Apparently another better than Ezra song.
Remember when we only used to listen to side A of Throwing Copper from Live?
Yes. Didn't like side B very much. Wasn't
Shit
good.
Town is the only good
Yeah.
song on that side.
Yeah. Yep. Well, side A had all the hits.
Yeah.
It was very front loaded. Why would you listen to side B? I guess that's why they call it B sides. That makes sense now. I never thought of that. I guess all side A's are better.
Yeah.
Huh.
Unless it's a shitty band, then just a shitty side.
Yeah. I really feel like we learned something tonight.
That's what everybody. That's what you got out of this. In case
Yeah.
you ever fall upon a tape deck nowadays and
Yeah,
a
you-
tape, side A is the one to go with.
Huh. I'll be damned. I am. My mind is blown right now. I could just be tired, but wow. So Jesus blows up the island.
Jesus mistakenly tries to kill everyone.
Everyone. Also, he's joined by the pilot from Armageddon. Also, I think the same. I'm gonna
And the
guess,
president. The president
Yeah,
from
like
Armageddon.
you said the president from Armageddon and that pilot. I'm guessing that's the same pilot. Also.
Yeah. Well, I think this is supposed to be the same world.
Yeah, definitely. This is a world where we got Harry Stampers running around with Francis Hummels.
Yep. That's a movie we
I-
will do one day. Armageddon.
Oh yeah, Armageddon. Yep.
Yep. The sequel
I'll
to
tell
The
you-
Rock.
I'll tell you what else. That one guy probably doesn't die.
Who?
The I Got You Baby guy?
I thought they killed him. I thought
He
he,
gets
does die.
Dude, he gets knocked off a fucking second story, off the second floor, onto some fucking windows. He probably got cut up. He's not dead.
No, he impaled himself, I thought.
I don't know. That's the other guy. The other guy impales himself.
Oh.
Tony Todd impales himself.
No,
Fucking
Tony
fucking,
Todd's the Rocket Man.
Yeah, pro wrestler Joey Janela got thrown off the same fucking height onto the back of a flaming fucking pickup truck. He's alive.
It's because wrestling's fake.
Scripted, Ron, not fake. Suck a dick.
So I was actually there was an abandoned sequel or an idea for a sequel to this. It was never developed though, where Mason is being chased by the government after escaping.
Oh, I thought it was that. What I read was that Goodspeed's being chased by the government for having the microfilm.
That would have
And
been
he
a
has to-
better movie than what I read. Yes.
Yeah, and he has to get Mason to help him. I'll
Which,
tell you this.
I don't know why they wouldn't do it because at this point Nick Cage is just trying to make money for his IRS tax bill.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he would have did it.
Well, as of this recording, he just had his marriage annulled after 4 days.
That's right. I just
Yeah.
heard that this morning.
He had a quickie Vegas wedding while wearing some sort of shiny silver gold suit, leopard print thing.
Well, he has tons of like weird shit. Doesn't he have like a dinosaur skull?
Yeah, dinosaur skull. I actually took a photo in front of his tomb.
In front of his what?
In front of his tomb in New Orleans.
He has a tomb?
Yeah, so if you want to get buried in New Orleans proper, you have to be buried above ground.
Yes.
So there's a lot of mausoleums. No, it's not. That's not some. Is that mausoleum? With all the fucking things?
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of those, like the big ones
the
though,
crypts.
like a lot. But then there's also the above ground cemeteries. There's like 3-4 famous cemeteries.
Yeah, I remember I went with one.
Yeah.
When you got married.
Yeah. Well, not when we got married. When I got married.
I said when you got married.
I thought you said when we got married.
No, we didn't get married yet. I would never marry you. You're too wild for me.
Nah, true. I'd marry you anyway. Someday, Ron. Someday I'll make an honest woman out of you. So, the first time I went down with my wife when we were first dating, we went down there. We went to one of those cemeteries, and Nicolas Cage's tomb. No joke, it's a thing. It's a big pyramid. I took a picture in front of it because I thought it was cool, and then later looked it up and was like, "Oh, that's Nicolas Cage's tomb."
Huh?
Yeah,
Go
I
figure.
saw that picture somewhere. Yep, Nicolas Cage's tomb. He bought it in advance, so when he dies, he's gonna be buried in a pyramid, much like National Treasure, pyramid on the dollar bill. Anyway,
Freemasons. That's
Free-
in the movie. He wasn't really looking after the Freemasons. It was just a play on words. He just wanted to Freemason.
Oh man, imagine that, the end of National Treasure 1, he opens the tomb and fucking John Mason's down there. Holy shit, Sean Bean would have shit his pants.
He never died in that movie. It's upsetting.
It's shocking. It's really
Yeah.
shocking. But yeah, they wanted to do that sequel. I still to this day, every time I watch this movie and the last scene pops up,
I want to know who killed JFK.
yeah, there's that 100%. and I always
That's the
wanna
fucking
know-
book of secrets from the second one.
See, exactly. Fucking Bruce, what's his face is in that?
Huh?
Not Bruce McGill. He plays the president.
That guy.
Yeah, I'll think about who gives a shit.
Yeah.
Anyway. Bruce Davidson? Anyway, whatever. Every time I watch it, I hope that I somehow forgot and that there's 20 more minutes of this movie in which they drive around with the microfilm. Because I find that so interesting every time. And he's a cool, he learns so much. He learns about being a family man because he sees fucking Mason's love for his daughter. He learns that I think the whole point of this movie is that Goodspeed did not want kids. Goodspeed thought he wasn't good enough to protect kids and wasn't a strong enough man to have a family. And he learns at the end he is a stronger man.
I don't think he ever thought he wasn't strong. I just don't think he wanted to bring a child up in the world where people are sending baby dolls full of sarin gas.
Yeah, but I think he learns that he could protect that child. I think that's what he's supposed to learn.
Okay.
You know? I think that's what he really pulls in at the end of the movie is that he's more capable than he thought, and that the world may be scary and terrible, but there are people who fighting for good, and that he's one of them, and that he could protect that baby, and everything's gonna be all right. Because green smoke, I've got green smoke. When he's fucking the arms out, like he's doing the Jesus cross with the fucking green smoke. Oh, what a movie!
And do you think the president gives a speech in this one, right?
Yes.
Do you think and he gives a speech in Armageddon.
Yes.
Do you think it's basically just a continuation of the same speech?
No, but I'll say this. I don't really know why in such a dire situation he thought it was necessary to have a prepared 30-second statement just to go airstrike approved.
Sir, we need to do it. They're about to blow. Hold on, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're about to death gas all of San Francisco, and he's like, "Hold on, I have some shit to say. I've got some opinions." It's fucking ridiculous.
Airstrike approved.
Airstrike approved. Oh man, the bombs hit on the back of the island. The silos are still intact.
So
oh man,
I never watched The West Wing until pretty recently, but I wish I would have. Oh, I don't know if The West Wing was out during. No, it was out after this. But that John Spencer is an amazing actor. I don't know if you appreciate it, but he's really good. They could have used him a little more.
Oh, he's very talented. He's like kind of, I'd say he's like ratty almost.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
He's got a very sniveling quality to him, like a latter day Bradley Whitford, also of The West Wing, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's a super talented guy. It's a damn shame he passed away. I think he had some kind of cancer.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a fucking shame.
Yeah.
He's great in this movie. It's definitely not him hanging off the side of the building, but he's great in this movie.
So they hung a stuntman off the side of the building, and people actually called into the police.
No, fucking, they should have.
saying that someone's hanging off the side of a building.
What do you need a gun for? You're a chemical freak. A chemical super freak, actually. Yeah, man, The fucking Rock. I feel like we're just gonna kind of ramble a little about this, so we might as well.
All right.
Anything
so
else? Yeah.
We found our Richard Tyson, David Morse.
Yeah.
We found our Pamela Reed.
Yes.
We want to thank everybody for listening to us for a year.
A whole
Whether
year.
or not you've listened for us for a year, you just listened to one episode, we thank you, because it's been a very fun year. We have a good time doing this, and we hope everyone has a good time listening, and we hope you continue to listen for many,
Yes.
many more years.
Yes, what Ron said, because I have nothing nice to say about any of you.
Yes. Well, we have nothing nice to say about Craig.
So, listen if you want, or don't. See if I care, nerds.
I care. Please listen.
Please listen. Please listen. I was kidding. I'm sorry before I called you nerds. I didn't mean it. I was drunk at the time. I was confused, and I love you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. We don't have Patreon because we don't have that many listeners. We're waiting for the first email. We will take requests. I'll tell you this: the first person who emails us, if you send us a even slightly valid movie, even slightly valid,
I don't care what it is, any movie.
Yeah.
Send
It's
us
not
some. Please send us a really shitty movie that Craig doesn't want to watch.
So long as it's not Puerno.
Yes, as long as it's not Puerno. But
We will do it.
A chick flick would be really fun because Craig hates them.
Apparently, I'm a shitty misogynist. Who knew?
Yes.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. Find us on our blog that I update sometimes.
Still hasn't updated from the last episode, but
I hate you. Thanks for pointing that out in the air. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Happy life day to Ron's new baby. Happy soon to be alive to my new baby. Let's just keep it rolling. We're building families. We're kicking ass. Love you all. Thanks for listening, folks.
night.
Hey, folks. It's Craig. It's late. We just finished recording. Got off the phone with Ron and realized we need to do a little PSA here and cover some bases we didn't cover. By we, I mean me, because Ron's not here. So, I'm sleepy, but I'm going to tell you this. Something I forgot to mention during the show was the complete and utter insanity of Stanley Goodspeed's pillow talk. He utters something to the effect of, while making love to his pregnant wife, strawberry peach persuasion and strawberry sorbet and peach persuasion. I don't know what that means, and I'm going to assume it was ad-libbed because no one would write that line. And since Nicolas Cage ad-libbed it, I'm hesitant to not think that is this the kind of thing that Nicolas Cage says to women while making the sex? I think it is. And I have nothing but respect for Nicolas Cage as an actor and a man. He seems like a great guy. Not great at doing his taxes, but a great man nonetheless. And he's bedded countless lovely women in his day, so clearly he has some charm to him, and he's a handsome man. And he's got his stuff together. But during these loving times, I'm terrified to think that he's saying this descriptive terms about ice creams and dessert foods. Maybe there's Pop-Tarts next and cookies. It's insane. It's just ridiculous. But, teach their own. Some people like some things, some people don't. I will also point out that the only reason I know who Alexander Solzhenitsyn is because of this movie. That I have an idea of what a cholinesterase inhibitor does because of this movie. I learned what Reagan tape is because of this movie. And, I love this movie. I just wanted to get those 2 points across. So, love y'all. Again, happy anniversary, and thanks for listening. Good night.